my goodness. Good morning. Good morning, family. How y'all doing? I'm so happy to be with y'all. This is great. So first, can we please give it up for not just a dear friend and a remarkable leader, but a true workforce county executive, Stuart Pittman. I am so grateful to be his partner in the work. I am so grateful to be here, and I was just speaking with Brandon earlier. And first, can I give a shout out to Mountain Maryland and Western Maryland and all the folks who came out from here. I'm so grateful because, Brandon and I were just speaking, and I'm, again, just think about the work that he was able to do out in Mountain Maryland and why now it's continuing to translate all throughout the state. The beautiful thing about this conference, the beautiful thing about this gathering, the beautiful thing about this get-together is this is all of us. This is Maryland. And this is the beauty of our entire state. I mean, look at this room. You have people who are representing every single section and segment of our state, from Allegheny and Garrett and Washington County and all the way over to Queen Anne and Kent. Oh, yeah. Eastern Shore represent. Southern Maryland. I love it. All of our St. Mary's and Charles and Calvary, y'all travel well. Y'all travel well. All our folks up on Harford and Cecil County, can we get somebody? There we go. Loud and proud, I like that. So, and I know we have some Baltimore County, some Anne Arundel County over here as well. What about our Prince George's and our Montgomery County folks? Y'all represent too? Of course you are. Of course you are. This is Maryland, y'all. This is us. This is our state. This is our backbone. When we talk about that this is going to be Maryland's decade, I mean that. And I've let every single governor in the country know that we are not coming for second place. We're coming for the top spot. And I don't just plan on winning. We're going to win by a couple touchdowns. All right? But the reason is because you are not going to put a workforce up that is going to be better than ours. You are not going to put teams and partnership that is going to be stronger than ours. You're not going to outwork us. Maryland has shown that historically, and we are going to show that into the future. And you think about what it takes to make these kind of things happen. I know I was speaking about Brandon earlier, but also I want to give a shout out to Kirk Murray and his leadership. And his leadership, I'm going to give him a round of applause as well. Who's been a true champion for economic development. The thing that I know is, and again, y'all should be very proud too, supposedly, this is a record-breaking crowd that y'all are having here. That doesn't happen by accident. Progress does not happen by accident. It does not just occur. It's made to happen. And leadership matters, and the reality is that each and every one of you, your leadership and your presence matters. Your voice matters. Your grit matters. Your determination matters. Because we see the product of your work every single day in our communities. And I'm thankful in not just what you do, but I'm thankful for this group because of how you do it and who you make sure that we're fighting for. That when you look out across all your various communities and all your various neighborhoods, you understand and you see Marylanders who are unemployed or underemployed, and some who are just lacking opportunities, and some who, despite all their best efforts, life just got in the way. And when you see them, you don't see people that need to somehow be protected or saved. When you look at those individuals, you see them as assets that need to be unearthed. You see them as jewels that need to be realized. You see them as potential that needs to be supported. The amazing thing, and when I think about this conference, is, I know the title is Raising the Bar, and I get it. But in many ways, what your work is doing, it's not about raising the bar. It's about eliminating it. It's about eliminating the bar that oftentimes stands in the way of our individuals who just simply want to be seen and simply want to define their own destiny and not necessarily have people define it for them. And I want to let you know that I share your outlook. Because, listen, and county exec was saying it, I'm new to the politics thing. I'd never run for office before. I don't come from a political family. I don't come from a political lineage. Before I ran for office, I worked in finance. I started my own enterprise, my own small business in Baltimore. We focus on helping first-generation students make it to and through higher education. Ran one of the largest poverty-fighting organizations in this country, where a lion's share of our portfolio was actually on workforce development. So coming here and knowing that I'm not just with folks from labor, but also folks from DHS, from nonprofit organizations and social service organizations, the backbone of our communities and the backbone of our social fabric. I know from the work that you are doing and from the work that I have done all throughout my life is that the people who we are working with, the young people we are working with, the people who are just simply looking for an opportunity to be able to achieve their own destiny, that they knew that there was something standing between them and opportunity. Something that unfortunately was structural at times, something that was intentional at times, something that we as a society need to be more intentional about removing. Removing the bar. Removing the barriers. Barriers like being able to acquire the skills that they need at an affordable price. Barriers like getting a second chance if you're returning home and actually having a second chance actually mean something, instead of trying to make every sentence a life sentence. Barriers like coming from an education system that was solely teaching us how to be employees, but not in teaching us how to be employers. When you give people the tools that they need, they will rise. And that in many ways, we are not products of our environments, but we're products of our expectations. Our job is to build a society that meets people where they are. And the thing about the work that each and every one of you do is you show what that looks like in practice. Our mission and our time within our administration and in our partnership with each and every one of you, it's about how are we building more resilient pathways to prosperities and to give everyone the opportunity to be able to live their own best lives, create their own best legacies, pass something off to their children and to their grandchildren. Give them an opportunity to have their ambition and their joy actually meet at some point. And that is going to start with investing in registered apprenticeship programs. That is going to start by stopping defining success as one individual or arbitrary path. I tell you, there's a great quote. There's a great quote by Albert Einstein in which he said, if you tell a fish that the definition of genius is climbing a tree, then that fish will always feel insufficient. Understanding that we're all going to have different paths. And that's okay. I had different paths. Where I know I wear 3 things on me every single day. And I wear them as not just a reminder of how important they all are, but also a reminder that each of those things have fundamentally made me better. The first thing is my dog tags, which you can kind of hear them. I'm not taking my clothes off, everybody. I heard that. So, y'all are too much, man. So these are my dog tags. And I got these when I was 17 years old, when I first joined the military. I was too young to sign the paperwork because I was only 17. My mother had to sign the paperwork for me. And but after my teenage years, she would sign whatever paperwork that they put in front of her. But I wear these because it is a consistent reminder to me of the role that the military played in my life and continues to play, but also the fact that while it was a different path from some of my peers and was a different path from some of my friends, that was my path. The second thing is my wedding ring. I've been married to my best friend for 16 years now. And she's someone who reminds me every single day that she makes me continue to think about being better, and she reminds me that I need to be better every single day. And the third thing is the ring from my 2-year college. And the reason I wear this is because, when people say, well, you ended up graduating from Johns Hopkins and you got a Rhodes Scholarship and you went to Oxford, and they're like, and you wear the ring from your 2-year college. I say, yeah, because that's my foundation. And you don't understand anything. You can't understand anything about my journey if you aren't willing to acknowledge and support my foundation, right? We all have our different pathways. We all have our different journeys. We're all just like our fingerprints. We're unique. And we celebrate that uniqueness. And the reason that we invest in these type of platforms is we want every single person in our state to know that your journey is respected, your journey is supported, and your journey is yours. And you should be proud of that. So whether that individual journey means that you're going to explore a career in carpentry, or a career in HVAC, or healthcare, or the iron trade, or any number of pathways that will support our apprenticeships, we need you. And you are the foundation of everything that's going to make our state successful. We need you to embrace that, and we need you to be proud of it. And we need to change this narrative that in order to be successful, that every single one of our students need to attend a 4-year school, because it's just not true. And don't get me wrong, I'm proud of the fact that Maryland has some of the best 4-year institutions in America. That's great, and I'm proud of that. But we're going to end this myth that every single one of us must attend one of them in order to be successful. And we're going to do it in our time. Because right now, over 11,000 registered apprenticeships are becoming a part of Maryland's high-skilled workforce through our apprenticeships, because I will celebrate that as much as I will celebrate any 4-year school. I'm proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with a bipartisan group of legislatures. So let's be clear, there is not one political party that has the market cornered on good ideas on this. I'm proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with a bipartisan group of legislators in the Maryland General Assembly that increased the number of registered apprenticeships to 60,000 by the year 2030. 60,000 opportunities. And in just 8 months of this administration, we have laid the groundwork in order for us to get there, because my first budget, literally days after inauguration, included $5 million for the Maryland Apprenticeship Training Program. That includes $1 million in tax incentives for employees to make sure they're prioritizing hiring apprentices. That we, in our first legislative session, we worked with the Maryland General Assembly to secure funding that's going to build out apprenticeship programs in outdoor recreation and also in law enforcement. That in our first months, we created the first in the nation platform. a service share option and Maryland core platform, that Maryland is now the first state in this country that is offering a service share option to our high school graduates. And I tell you right now, while Maryland is the first, it ain't gonna be the last, because service will help to save us. We've got to be a state that gets to know each other again. We've got to be a state that serves together. In this time of this political divisiveness and vitriol, in this time where every single conversation seems to start with an idea of where politically are you? What's your political party, as if it's some sort of birthright fiefdom, where people somehow seem to care more about where the idea came from than is it a good idea? I believe deeply that service is going to save us. That Maryland is going to be a state that will get to know each other, and we're going to get to know each other because we're going to work together. We're going to get our hands dirty together. We're going to explore every single part of our state. We're going to get to know each other as people and not as numbers. And when we do that, we are not just going to build the infrastructure for our future, we are going to save our souls. That's why this work is important. We've made an important down payment on our state's future and our apprenticeship ecosystem in Maryland, and Maryland has made the biggest commitment in the country in scaling up apprenticeships, and I want you all to know, if I said it, I meant it, and we are just getting started. But this work really does start with all of you. And that's why I'm so proud to be here today and so proud to work with you every day. Because without you, none of this is real. You're the fuel. You are the foundations. You are the ones who are working in our communities every single day. You are the ones who are not just helping to set the vision, you're helping to set the pace. And you're the reason that this state is going to win. And so whether you are from the Department of Labor or a local workforce development program or a regional workforce council, you are the reason that we're going to win this fight. And by the way, I do want to give a special shout out to the leaders from Maryland's 32 different American job centers that are providing Marylanders with support that they need. In fact, if you are working in one of our 32 American job centers, would you mind either standing or raising your hand so we can recognize you? Thank you. And by the way, you know what? And I'd be remiss if I also didn't give a special shout out. Secretary Portia Wu is a rock star. I am so happy to work with her every single day. Where's Secretary Wu? Maryland. How lucky are we that that's our Secretary of Labor? And how lucky am I that I get a chance to work with her every day? And this remarkable team. All of you are playing such an important role in this work ahead because of the programs that you run, because of the lives that you touch. You are helping to set the pace of why Maryland is going to win. You are demonstrating the fact that this is not just about raising the bar, it is about eliminating it altogether. Now, as many of you know, that there are some fiscal headwinds that we're facing ahead. And we've been talking about it from the first time we came in, about how exactly to get our economy going again. The fact is that over the past 4 years, Maryland's economy has not kept pace with our neighbors. That Maryland's economy right now is the same size as it was 4 years ago. Maryland's economy has grown by 0.2% over the past 4 years, while the average state around the country, their economies have grown by 7.5%. We are currently ranked 47th in economic momentum. That shouldn't be Maryland. That shouldn't be us. And I can tell you right now, in our time together, it won't be. But it won't be because of you all. Because in order to build a strong economy, we need a strong middle class. In order to need a strong middle class, it means we need to create jobs and opportunity. We need to have folks who are getting the tools that they need to not just grow and compete, but to go out there and win. We need to make sure that we have an economy that includes everybody and not just some. We need to make sure we have opportunities for people to be able to grow and thrive and hire and start their own things. It means we need to make sure that every single person, no matter their station and no matter their start, they see themselves in the future of our economic growth, and they see themselves rooting for our economic future. And so to do that, the answer then becomes very simple. It means we get to work. It means we compete. I am very competitive by nature. And I acknowledge that, and every single governor in the country has learned that very quickly. But I'm not competitive and I'm not hopeful on false hope. The reason that I'm hopeful is I got you. I'll put you against anyone else in the country. I will put this team against anybody else because you know what it means to fight. You know what it means to really grit it out. You know what it means to build. You know what it means to have vision. And most importantly, you know what it means to leave no one behind. And if we do that, Maryland, if we can build with an intentionality of making sure that we're leaving no one behind in this conversation, it's our time and it's our decade. And I could not be more proud to be on this journey as your colleague and partner. So bless you all. Thank you for all you continue to do. And let's go build and let's go grow. Thank you all so much again.